everyone, it's Cindy. Good morning. I am here today with my creativity sampler. I'm going to be documenting my Rosie's walk journal that I just recently completed. So I'll just do another quick little flip through of where we are, and actually I need to update this page, which is my page of what I've been using up. So for Rosie's walk, I used up one hardcover plus one children's paperback. And I'm just doing this kind of thing to kind of document like what has gone in and out of my studio for the month of August where I haven't been thrifting. So it's a good thing. It kind of gives me a little bit of a perspective on, you know, so in the month of August so far, I've used 3, 4, 5, 6 hardcover books and 3 children's books. So that being said, right, in one thrift, you could probably bring home 3 times that if you're not really thinking about it, right? So just thinking about, like, you know, acquisition. Okay. So this is the page we have today. It's just a plain old page. And I have this piece of paper that I love. I bought a whole package of this paper. Probably like, I don't know. I'm going to say the early 2000s or something, from a stationery store like Staples, like a, you know, a business store. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And I used to use it to make little signs at shows that I would do, like, you know, hand spun yarn, and I'd like put some kind of information, and it was always a very eye-catching paper. So I really enjoy this paper. I only think I have like a couple sheets of it left, but it is super cute. So it's nice to, again, use something that's like a bit of a memory in this book. So I'm just going to use this as the backing. Oh, this glue stick it's a sad glue stick. I'm not going to do the digging glue this morning. I just don't want to. My fingers are already dyed with printer ink. Yesterday I installed my new printer. So I have like a new Canon printer. So I already have the Epson EcoTank, but I love it. But you know, for its ink. Okay, is this one dead too? Yes. Okay, why am I keeping a dead glue stick? Okay. I love it for its, like, you know, amazing ink capabilities that you can print 1,000 pages or something before you need a new ink tank or whatever. But I also wanted something that could do better photos, as well as like with the new printer that I just got, the Canon, I forget the name of it, but it can print like amazing photos. It has like 2 different paper feeds that you can print, like scrapbook paper. You can print all sorts of stuff. It's really, really nice. So that's going to give me a little bit more options in terms of print quality and that kind of thing. It, of course, unfortunately doesn't have the EcoTank situation, so I have to be mindful about my use with it, because I don't want to be buying ink all the time. But let's get these corners again. I didn't really get them that well. Yep, so studio reorg, still underway. I got all the shelving and everything all up now, and I think the main paper studio is completely done. I mean, there's a few things. So I'm going to have a few things that I'm calling like temporary headaches, which is like just a bin of something where I just don't have a spot for it. So I literally need to focus on using it up. So a lot of my activities, I think, for the next while on this channel are going to be about like using things up. So I have this on my desk, and this is kind of like, you know, I've got some stuff that like I've recently been, you know, using or unpacking. It's like, you know, I just organized all my lace. So these are the little bits I didn't want to bother to hang up with the other lace. So they go in here, and they're like the you know, use it, lose it kind of thing. You know, it reminds me a lot of like Nancy from Wishes and Weeds with her meatball box concept. So this is kind of like my meatball box in a lot of ways. So I'm going to try to like use things that way, as well as doing Tuesday 10 again, and then some other things, along with regular old, you know, journal making, which is the whole reason that I enjoy doing all of this. So I don't have a lot left over for Rosie's walk. This is it. I used the majority, I think, of what was in there. Oh, I got this too. Sometimes I have to take a look at my scrap bin because I sometimes will throw things in there too. But yeah, this is it. So I think the first thing I will do is just, again, I'm using the stamp method here of documenting my work. So if you're unfamiliar with what I'm doing right now and what I'm talking about, this book is my creativity sampler, which means all the projects that I do, the little bits that are left over, I am creating a sample, like a book that sort of is a sampling of the work that I did, a journal that I made, what have you. And it's just a nice way to kind of remember what I did. So I'm mainly using stamp punches, a stamp format, or even just, you know, like this, cutting out bits here. So that... And then at the end of it all, you know, I'm just going to glue them down in a nice like format that I find pleasing. And I'll do a little bit of a write-up about the project itself and, you know, what I liked about it, and anything else that I kind of want to remember. And I really like how the book's coming together. I find it really a pleasure to flip through. A couple of those, and maybe we will... Oh, those are cute frames. Those would be really cute little frames. See, this is how scraps are born. Baby scraps. That's how scraps are born. Oh, this is little. Can I do it? I can. All right. So we have 3 of those. A little bit of my dyed paper that I made. The yellow and green and orange. Oh, does not want to go in this punch. It's so thin, that's why. The struggle is real. Okay, there we go. Some green. These were like little children's language card bit. There we go. And then I want to use up these little scraps from the inked page journal. And I've got this little bit of flowers, or the inked page Etsy shop, I think. I am so bad at remembering the name of the shop. I really don't know why. But I linked it in the Rosie's Walk video down below. I mentioned the lace papers used in this journal are from, and it's that shop. So I don't know why I cannot remember the name. It's terrible. All right. I think I might just grab a little square of this. Just because it's got all those kind of textures that I like. All right, that should be good. Okay. Yay, an empty project basket. Life is good. We finished a project. So, put this over here. Now I need my art glitter glue because that makes life easier. I need to refill this bottle. Holy moly. If that's okay. I will use it this time and then I will refill it. Or at least I will tell myself, and then I'll start another video. I'll say the exact same thing. It will be totally, you know, dragged on because I always neglect refilling my glue bottles until it's like desperate times here. Old Mother Hubbard's glue. That's okay. And so I'm trying to decide what to do today. I have to admit, I'm so chuffed about my studio being all like updated and fun that I really kind of don't even want to leave it, but I have to. As I gotta go out with the kids and to get some of the energy out. So I'm thinking of taking them down to the lake shore, maybe playground kind of thing, and that will be fun. Go to an area that we haven't been in a while. I also need to get my September calendar updated. I also need to get my daughter's grade 1 homeschool plan sorted. I'm going to be doing some of that though while I'm on vacation in September. I don't follow the specific exact school year or that kind of thing at all. We don't do that. We do mostly like unschooling. It's another whole program that you can look up on your own, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a really nice flexible way to do homeschooling without panic about like standards and all that kind of thing. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. My daughter's swimming lessons have concluded, and soon she'll be going back to Sparks, which is going to be nice. And then when we go on vacation, I'll be teaching her a lot about plants and foraging again, as we've done before. We'll be doing a lot of eco-printing, which will be fun, and obviously spending a lot of time at the beach. But where we, the cottage where we are in Quebec is a very beautiful place. It has a playground very close by that has a really beautiful forest and a swamp, like a marsh behind it. And so it's really nice because the kids can play while mom has like her exhale time in the woods. And I get to go and just do my thing and look at birds. And the last time I was there, I saw a beautiful little saw-whet owl, and I just kind of sat on the pine floor of the woods and watched this little owl do its thing, and that was nice. And it's right behind a library that has also a little free library outside. It's like a very perfect place that's within like walking distance of where we stay. And so every day, that kind of becomes, every day we kind of do like good home cooked food and a little bit of traveling around. We watch deer, and because there's a lot of deer in the area. We buy a lot of nice local food, and yeah, it's a great time. And then we spend our days usually just at the cottage on the beach, because we have like a private beach area, and swimming, kayaking, and I do eco-printing. There's a nice big deck, so I get a bit of reading done. I'll probably bring my stitching. I might bring some kind of paper, something or other. I don't know. Paper is not something I've learned to travel well with yet, like what kind of thing to do when you're on the go with paper. Like fussy cutting is a good idea. I think you could bring, a book that you want to break down. You want to cut all the pictures out. You could bring that with you in a plastic bag probably, and like work away on that. But I'm also starting to like question how much in terms of fussy cutting I want to have, because then you have all these bags or whatever of fussy cuts, and I've been thinking about how to best organize my fussy cuts, and I haven't really, that's like the one thing I have not really figured out yet. So like what I do right now is I have like a plastic bag with a label on it that says, birds or something, right? So there's fussy cut birds in that, and butterflies or insects, and then, I don't know, just different topics. And I put all the fussy cuts in the plastic bags, and I was keeping them in a basket in like an alphabetical order, kind of like a file folder. And I thought about a filing cabinet, but I mean, I don't know, at the end of the day, it still doesn't feel perfect, and I'm not exactly sure. So if you have any good ideas or, like thoughts on how to organize fussy cuts, that would help me. But I think my big takeaway is to use them. Use them. They're cut out for a reason. And I think I often get into like a stage where like I cut the edge off that somehow, that's fine. Or it didn't have an edge, it's okay. I get into a state where like I've chosen the materials for my book, and then I don't think about like just adding some fussy cuts for the heck of it. Like, do that. Because it uses them and it makes the page nice. Just add a fussy cut. So yeah. That's my challenge right now, is just fussy cuts. What else? Oh, so I was talking about my temporary headaches. So I have not one, but 2 baskets of like scrap fabrics that I use when I'm working. And I want to get that down to 1 basket. So what I'm thinking is I'm probably going to spend one day making covers, fabric covers, beautiful fabric covers, because I have incredibly beautiful fabric that like is all sitting in a basket waiting to be used up. So like, I mean, I tend to like to make covers for journals. Like, I don't like to do too much sort of pre-prep, like having, I don't know, because I like to have my journals be eclectic, but not in a way that they're just like, oh, I made all this stuff over time that's been laying around and now I'm going to put it together. Because for me, like, that doesn't have soul or something. Like it I feel like it needs some kind of a plan, like to be like my style or something. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I don't want things to feel like I just slapped it together from whatever I had lying around. But I mean, I guess to some degree that is exactly what junk journaling is supposed to be, right? Is like using things up. So again, you know, that's a bit of a flawed theory. So do I want to layer these? I don't want to cover her. And I'm just going to do a little tiny bit of journaling on these blank ones. Just these little blank ones. So I need this one up here, and then I don't know if I want to do, I think that'll be enough, really. Maybe I just don't need these and they can go in my bits. Yeah, they can go in my bits. That's fine. So yeah, anyways, I think once I get, like, I've also got another temporary headache. If you watched, I did like a thrift haul or an estate auction haul video some time ago where I got like 2 giant boxes of all books about dolls. So I've gone through them. One was all magazines, like Doll Collector magazine, and you know, as much as I could have used those, for sure I could have, I decided, like, I've already got an entire book of like vintage doll books. Half of them have loads of black and white images, half of them have color images. You know, the magazines were all color images and they were glossy, so the books are matte, you know. So I was like, this is a time where you don't keep everything, you take the best of the best. So I donated to my local recycle center, where there's a huge book community that go to the recycle center. Somebody will find those and love them, I know it, because they're actually, like, I was looking online about like the price of them and stuff, and that they're older, so like they actually do fetch a bit of money to doll collectors and that sort of thing. I don't have the energy to try to like find out, you know, could I make money off of this? I just don't. I'm so busy right now that I don't have the time. That also being said, if anybody in Ontario, you know, southeastern Ontario, the Toronto region, if you are interested in a Canadian production spinning wheel, that's fully functional, meaning it's not like something you see in an antique store that somebody has broken and, you know, the antique store doesn't know if it's functioning or not, but they're still trying to sell it to you for $300. No, this is a real spinning wheel used by me, a spinner who made yarn on it and still can make yarn on it. I just have enough spinning wheels, and this particular wheel actually, you know, it's an antique wheel, and it was restored by a friend of mine who, he specializes in Canadian production wheels. He's restored many of them, and he gave me one that he had restored. And so the problem I have though is that it's like an Elizabeth style wheel, meaning it has like the large wheel on one side and then the kind of let me draw a picture. So it's got this large wheel. It's not as huge as like a walking wheel, right? But it is you know, like this, right? And then basically there's a part that comes off here. It's got legs, and then it's got, you know, the flyer, and, you know, more of the assembly essentially lives here. And so for me, it's like, it's a bigger wheel, and I just don't have space for it because I have a lot of spinning wheels. And I'm getting to a point where, you know, with every hobby, right, it's like you can easily get really passionate and invested, and that's like actually part of my personality. I think I go hard when I get into something. Like, you know, this project, like I started making journals, and now like I used to think like, I'm not going to buy all this. I don't need a die cut machine. But then like you get deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. So like even with, you know, spinning yarn, it started out, I wanted to crochet hats, unique sculptural hats, and I couldn't find yarn that was like unique and a signature of my own. Like I would buy all these different kinds of novelty yarns in stores and things, and like they just didn't feel like they had any soul to me. So I'm like, I need to learn how yarn is made. And then, you know, I knew to some degree how yarn was made, that it was spun, that it was from wool. I knew all of those things, but I didn't know the depths to which, you know, I would one day go. And so then, yeah, I started spinning my own yarn. I developed my own signature art yarns. And then from there, it just exploded. Suddenly I was dyeing fiber, I was shearing sheep, I was, you know, and it just got deeper and deeper. But now I'm diversifying a little bit my interests, because I don't know, I think a lot about as we, not even necessarily as we get older, but even like when we're young, try not to do super repetitive things like, you know, knitting. It's a lot of that same motion. Spinning, a lot of this motion. Writing, you know, just like try to mix things up a little. Your hands will thank you, your body will thank you, because like if you do too much of one thing for too long, right, like over time, you really can hurt yourself. And so, yeah, that's one way I'm thinking about it. But also, I just also want to downsize as we plan kind of our future, what we want to do, where we want to live. I need less. So if anyone in the Greater Toronto area, or, you know, a little bit further out of there, is interested in a Canadian production wheel, I have one to pass along. I'm not looking to sell it. It's probably worth about $250-ish, I would say. I see them go for much higher and sometimes lower, but that's the value roughly. But yeah, I don't need to take money for it. I would just pass it along, you know, happily, especially to a new spinner, someone who's looking to get into spinning yarn. So that being said, just shoot me a message on Instagram, Studioloo on Instagram, if you're interested in that wheel, and we could arrange something. I'm not shipping it. I'm not driving it like miles and miles and miles away. But like if you are in the area, I would definitely arrange with you. So blah, blah, blah. That being said, I'm going to write a little bit more here, but I won't make you stick around for it. So that is our Rosie's Walk page, and I like it. I think she just makes me so happy. I'll be happy to flip through and see her little face all this time. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm hoping to really amp up making videos, because like I'm really feeling the itch of use it up, because once I use up the things I don't need, I'm going to have nothing extra lying around, and that will make me extraordinarily happy. So have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.